My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is May 2nd, 2025. It is 1:16 a.m. This is video number 2. Go on PYTE. I spoke about a couple things. Go check it out. And I have a small video on output of your service regarding Nigeria and Invictus. Okay, so let's go on Twitter. Let me grab my list. I want this video to be very quick. Alright, so I was talking about this on output of pure service and on PYTE. I started on PYTE and finished it on output of pure service because it has to do with their work. Alright, first tweet. Serial killers, genocidal maniacs, dictators, suicide bombers, all these people exist. Yet it's a woman's existence and the things she says that makes you question your faith and humanity. Alright, so she retweeted this person here. I don't know who's this. Danish Souza? Author, filmmaker, host of Danish Souza podcast. But anyway, I find this woman very disturbing. Oh my God. How does advanced civilization produce something like this? It makes me question my faith and humanity. But why are you watching it? What is wrong with these people? So that's a 4-minute clip here. There will be a screenshot. Let me go into it so it could be bigger. All right. Let's listen. Yeah, it's the hate campaign that these people are evil. That's all. Just evil, trying to spread their hate worldwide.
So beautiful.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that one. Yeah, they're just it's just so great. This is why it's so nice to not have makeup on. Thank you. We spend so much of...
Okay, I'll be putting some screenshots. So I've shared this already, and I'm just gonna give myself work. Let's see here. Then you will really be sickening to know this woman and Prince Harry took millions from US aid. Oh, please. Oh, Lord. These people. Stop effing lying. I didn't finish with that. Okay, not sure who's sponsoring you, but it's quite obvious. I have seen you on every Meghan hating post peddling more lies. Please show us any documentation that Archwell ever received US aid fundings. Effing hell, how do you guys sleep up? I did tell myself not to go in it, but let's go back to the original tweet here. Alright, sound like you got serious mental health problems. Oh my God, let's just leave that alone. This is very sick. Baggage for God. All of these people, they're trying to do that reverse psychologist as if the things that they are saying are not evil within itself. But when someone called them out, they're pointing the finger saying, you are the evil one. This is, my God, we need to pray for our kids. The future does not look good the way some of these people are going about it. But there are some people, there's some hope. There's a small hope going on. All right, next tweet. Quote, the rage, if we're honest, has very little to do with protocol, end quote. British vilification of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, has reached parody, the I paper. So I'm not going to read this, okay? Let's see here. The I newspaper is owned by DMGT. What's DMGT? Which is the parent company of the Daily Mail. This is the thing. They own everything. If you go on PYTE, today's recording, the first video that I recorded is on PYTE. And the moment that I got on X, I saw that it's not showing right now. I saw, what was it, NPR, and what was the other one was trending. and I click on it and I share it with, it's in the video, that Trump signed executive order to defund NPR. And I retweeted it and I said, we should not be surprised by that, because what the aim is to keep people in the dark. Okay? They want to be in control of the information. And the information that they're spewing out there is full-blown BS. Make people vote against their best interests, get people upset, and all of that. So NPR, who remain with, it's not all the time I listen to them, but who's really doing journalistic thing, all right? So they don't want the proper information to go out. They want to control the information, and the information that they want to be out is to lie to the people. All right, so there's that. Did I finish with that? The I newspaper is owned by the MGT, which is the parent company of the Daily Mail, the Independent, and Mail on Sunday. The MGT acquired the I newspaper and its website from GIP Media for £49.6 million in 2019. Toxic British media, listen to your boss, enough. Yeah, the thing, any form of communication that is growing and it's going based on journalistic aspect, they're gonna buy it. They want to acquire it so they could control the information. This article is great and so true. It's scary that people have so much hatred in their heart. Okay, the opposite of love and hate, it's indifference. They are literally keeping watch on her Insta page, sign up for notification, watch her shows, listen to her podcast, post and talk about her all day. Girl, that's a fan. Let's go to the next tweet. It's crazy. Baggage for God. We need to keep on praying to protect her. Next one. There's that here. Angry white men. This is posted by Not My King thing. Okay, I'm not gonna click it and I'm not gonna share the link. Okay, Meghan Markle blasted for dancing on the grave of Monarchy and scattering red. What? Meghan dancing on Monarchy? What? Grave of the Monarchy? Where did that come from? And then again, the old people and some young people who just look at the money aspect of things. They're not looking in terms of how they're destroying their own future. Because at some point, this is going to stop. And I'm pretty sure of it. We may not see the end of it, but yes, it will stop at one point. This type of journalistic behavior is going to stop. And by that point, many of these young people who have a platform, who's creating those nonsense, it will be too late for some of them. Okay, Britain should be ashamed and appalled to have this hate played to the whole world daily. When will they stand up and say enough? I mean, they've been at it for a very long time. This is their way. This is their blueprint. So it's not new. It's just that they evolve every time.
And racism as such, as a philosophy, kicked in was as a direct reaction to the abolitionist movement. The abolitionist movement driven by some of the leading intellectuals of the day, as well as driven by hundreds of thousands of ordinary people in this kingdom who signed petitions after petitions and presented them to the House of Lords. When the abolition movement really kicked in from the 1780s onwards, the planters had to respond. And so this is where you get the most virulent imagery about brutal, pagan, bestial.
But the media is a powerful force.
Black people in the literature and in the imagery.
Cartoons portraying black people as licentious and depraved began to circulate.
But the media is a powerful force.
The anti-abolitionist Edward Long wrote,
"The lower class women in England are remarkably fond of the blacks. In the course of a few generations more, the English blood will become so contaminated with this mixture as even to reach the middle and then the higher orders of the people. This is a venomous and dangerous ulcer that threatens to disperse its malignancy far and wide until every family catches infection from it."
But the media is a...
Alright, the grave of the monarchy. The monarchy is dying, yes, but not quite dead yet. Oh my god. Is the monarchy dead? Why does it have a grave on which a woman can dance? These are the things you have to ask yourself sometime when these people write their BS. Angry white men clinging to outdated power structure need to understand this. The same monarchy that crowned Camilla as queen despite decades of scandal is the same institution that acknowledged Meghan, Princess Henry of Wales, as HRH, the Duchess of Sussex. You don't get to rewrite royal legitimacy based on race or bias. Okay, where was I? Bias. If we're going to question who deserved titles, let's start with the woman whose conduct helped destroy Diana and whose presence arguably weighed heavily on Queen Elizabeth II and her final years. That is the uncomfortable truth no one dares to confront. Until the complete honest reckoning of the royal family transgressions takes place, maybe it's time for these jobless, bitter, racist old men to stop policing women they don't understand and start examining the institution they unquestioningly protect. And then at the same time, as I'm reading this, I'm thinking of the younger royals. I don't know if any women who has their head on their shoulders and who knows what's going on, I don't know. We'll stay away from those two boys of William's kids. Okay, dancing on the grave of the monarchy is quite apt because it died with Queen Elizabeth II. With Queen Elizabeth. Okay, dancing on the grave of the monarchy. So the monarchy is dead. Next tweet. These people or something. These are the questions people need to ask themselves when they read those crazy stuff. Oh my god, there's more of these things here. A black woman came to the UK and stole the last British prince available to marry white women. Many of us are ugly and old, so they didn't have a chance, but he should be with English rules. I think we've been lied to. We're not the most desirable. We can cope. Oh my god, a black woman ruined us. Okay, she's making reference to them. They all are baggage for God. There's that here. Just look at them. What is eating them up is what Meghan said, that Harry loved her so much. Case closed. Yep. They never experienced love. Yeah. While all the anguish and temper tantrum, there are still eligible white male princes available. For starters, Prince Andrew, Prince William, and Prince Lee. Georgie is near puberty stage 2, so keep hope alive. There's that. The British Prime prefers the American flower. Okay, they want everything for themselves. The billies of successful black women, but the British roses are dry and unattractive. LOL, if I could turn back time. The thing is that was the prince who saw her, asked for her acquaintance, proceeding to woo her, made her fall in love with him, asked her to marry him, which she accepted. Harry got a dream and made it come true. Alright, they're also miserable. Alright, let me read what's there and then that's it. If Kate Middleton had been a welcoming person to Prince Harry, previous girlfriends, these may be a different outcome of events. That's right. Okay, the Daily Mail also had to blame itself as well. Okay, so she wanted to, from what I've heard and what I've read, is that she wasn't too nice with some of Harry's exes. I make them feel uncomfortable and so many other things. Because I guess the goal was to keep Harry single. Okay? So they could bash on him. But Harry had other ideas. Harry knows how to navigate around their stupidity. Alright, if Kate Middleton had been a welcoming person to Prince Harry's previous girlfriends, there may be a different outcome of events. If she was more welcoming to, Meghan Sussex. Okay, Meghan Sussex, a different outcome. These old ugly hags will not be on social media. Meghan Sussex, what power you have in your little fingers. Prince Harry found his true love. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. This comment is true. It's some of the things that I've said. In one tweet, I remember saying, Daily Mail have itself to blame. Because every time Harry had someone, they keep on getting into his private life and all of that. So made things uncomfortable for his exes. Alright, next tweet. That's regarding heavy security. So later today at 2 p.m. I guess UK time, the judge will come with the appealing result. So you will hear it on Saturday. Okay, so I'm a day behind, and who knows how long I'm gonna finish editing some of the thing I'm recording tonight. Alright, the Court of Appeal will hand down its decision on Prince Harry's security appeal this Friday at 2 p.m. Whatever the decisions, Harry already a winner to me. The disclosure process exposed the evil shenanigans driven by Charles and Willie through Ravex. That's on historical record. That's right. I agree with that 100%. Okay, if the status quo remains in place, it will appear to be a clear statement that the royals don't want Harry's visit England with his family. How else will Archie and Lilibet ever meet their cancer-stricken grandfather? That is true, because you keep on hearing the royal rats that Charles need to see the grandkids. Okay, how cool that situation will be. Charles made his choice long ago. He doesn't care about those grandkids. And I think this was a shade being thrown if they don't give Harry security. And the other thing as well, we is it 2027, the Invictus? That could stop as well. And probably give it to South Korea. Okay, I thought maybe William had been calling the shot when it comes to his brother-sibling hostility from the future king, and hoping the serious cancer Charles continues to undergo treatment for will drive his desire to meet his two youngest grandchildren, disgusting if not so. Okay, I think what really disgusts me is that William had two family members get diagnosis with cancer and it didn't change him at all. I mean, they just play. I mean, then we hear some royal rats on national television saying they don't have cancer. All right, and not too long ago I read something. I didn't share it. I saw it on X that it was People Militant saying that Kate didn't have cancer. You guys could correct me. Some of you on more other platform than I am, so you could correct me on that. Let's put allegedly. In fact, it doesn't change any of them. It made them even more batshit effing crazy and mentally unhinged. William has become angrier and more mentally unhinged with time, which is weird because you'd think he would have rediscovered his priorities when his own wife was facing cancer. But no, it's back to being a rage-filled bully for him. Alright, Sarah is also related to him, and we know what cancer she and Charles had. Okay, the stalker, not traditionally ill. Was it the We Can See Why? Okay, we can see why they need to Photoshop everything and do performative video shoots together. Alright, let's leave that alone. Now this is about Sentebale. I'm not sure this one if it's making reference to the same thing that I've already mentioned to you guys, or if this is new. This was posted yesterday. Okay, whoops, look like Sophie Shanduka lost another Sentebale trustee. There was one in my, I think, whatever the last time I recorded something, someone quit. Just look at the screen. I'm not sure if it's the same person this is making reference to, or if it's a brand new person who quit. Okay, I'm waiting for the financial report for 2024. We already know the charity was low on reserves and she was failing at raising funds. I'm curious to see how long before paid personnel will need to quit. Okay, it's only a matter of time before it all unravel. Okay, seriously, what is their obsession with? Okay, there's that here. It's just weird. Okay, I'm surprised. Let's pause that. I'm surprised at the quietness of the British media about this. I mean, they made the noise that they needed to make. And the thing is that they don't care about the charity itself. They just want to destroy it. Alright, let's see how the review's coming out. Because there's a review from the Charity Commission or something like that. What's the name of that particular thing that's doing the review? Or the investigation, I should say. They had screaming headlines when Sophie Shanduka was blowing hot air. They told she is one person who has taken on Harry and Meghan and one, according to Dan Wootton and Angela Levine. Their silence is deafening. Okay, hope she's making preparation for prison. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. Again, I'm not sure if this was making reference to the second person who quit or if this is someone new. Next tweet. Squaddies just got confirmation that every time we say HRH Duchess Meghan, an angel get their wings. Let's ensure every angel get their wings. HRH Duchess Meghan. There's that here. Oh my God. She did that thing so elegantly, but yet so simple. Nothing flashy. Look at the earring. I think that's the earring the queen gave her. Very simple, but she outshone all of them. And then the worst thing is, later on, months later, all of them, wherever they were going, they were wearing some kind of a dress resembled to that. I love that. I'll add another one then. HRH Duchess Meghan. Okay, this makes sense. HRH Duchess Meghan. My God, the angels are getting wings. Just no stopping this. This is Sussex love. Yes, it's Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex every single time. Because nothing ruins a Deranger's day faster than Meghan being addressed correctly and thriving. Cry louder. We can't hear you over her crown. I forgot how spectacular HRH Meghan Sussex looked at the Queen's funeral. That's right. That's what I was just saying. That fit and that hat, she looks like a supermodel. Okay, I'm going for HRH Princess Meghan Sussex. I have been told that when angel are promoted to archangel. All right, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. This is a TikTok video. Okay, I think it's a small little thread. When the squad start putting those TikTok videos, they add. So I plan on going to all of them. So I remember that. I follow her as well. Alright, the toxic, racist, evil, bitter white people hate HRH Meghan Sussex because they are unloved and hate themselves. They are frustrated with their own lives. By all accounts, they should be happy, but they are miserable and restless. So seeing Meghan happy gives them pain, and their pain is forever. Alright, so this one is exactly 3 minutes. Meghan Sussex writing notes to her kids for the future is beautiful and something many of us who've lost our mothers would love to have. Okay, so let's listen to this.
You know what I was thinking today? Did you see the part of the Meghan Sussex interview where she talked about how she writes emails nightly to her kids?
I'm not sure if this is the same TikTok person where I said, I don't see him being a Sussex fan. I don't know why, okay? I don't know. I'm just a thought. That doesn't mean it's true. But I could see him being in the politic aspect, being Kamala Harris supporter, who was Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama supporter, things like that. But Meghan will not struck me at all. But here we are. But let's continue.
And that made its way around the internet, and the same haters are saying that she's narcissistic to be writing nightly emails to her kids that they will get when they're older. And I can't understand attempting to drag a mother for wanting to have keepsakes for her children. That's what photos are. That's what baby journals are. That's why we take photos and all these phones and everything and videos. And she's doing that very honestly. And
memories.
how many of us, I count myself, I lost my mother when she was only 39 years old.
Wow, that was
and
young.
I was 20. I think about her a lot because Mother's Day is coming up. And
you could see that hit him a little bit, just him saying that. All right.
do you know the joy I would have today if she had handed me, she died from colon cancer.
Oh my God.
Diagnosed and lived another 18 months.
Wow.
Handed me a journal with all her words. Do you know how
Wow, it's hitting him.
Do you know how valuable that would be to someone? My wife and I own a home. We travel. We have cars. I write books. I would give anything to have that for my mother. And for them to make light of it, make jokes, criticize her, and throw their hate, when she very well knows the pain that her husband, Harry, lives with today because he lost his mother.
That's right.
I leave little notes in my books that I know my daughter would recognize because I want her to have that for me. If you have your mother, hold him dear. And if you don't, I commiserate and understand you may be going through a tough time right now as Mother's Day approaches. Anyway, I'm happy to hear that Meghan Sussex is aware of the power that her words hold today. I'm grateful she shared them, and I know her children one day will be happy that she's doing what she's doing.
That's right. That's a good take on that. But the others, my goodness. All right. So the squad are putting some of these. I was aware there were a couple of them. The moment I came across, I click on all of them to see how much we have. So I could be prepared when I'm editing. When I'm recording. What? Okay. I think it's notes most of the British press and royalists with their roles are unloved and hate themselves. How can you be insane? Okay, it's spelled wrong. Insane pain because Meghan is making a memory for her children by opening emails and their names with pictures when she is forcing you to do the same. Forcing you. She's not forcing anybody. Okay, maybe something is missing here. But let's listen to this. 3 minutes and 32 seconds.
I watched the Meghan Sussex podcast interview with JB Kern-Lima, and here are my takeaways. I need Meghan in my life, period. There is an aura about her that brings lightness into my life, especially during a time when the world feels absolutely topsy-turvy. She helps me center and reprioritize what's important. Like, for example, the rocking chair friends. It made me think about the rocking chair friends that I've had for over 10 years and how lucky I am. I have a multitude of friends who I could sit down when we're 90 in a rocking chair and spend the sunset period of my life. It reminded me of who my true and real friends are, and that I need to improve being a friend to them, because I don't always show up, and that's what Meghan does. She shows up for her friends, and that's why they all consider her a really generous friend. Meghan's need to be creative is something I can relate to. As a creative myself, it taps into my creative spirit. If I'm not creating, I'm not in a happy place. And that's why I think I make these videos, because I'm creating. And I think that's why her show with Love Meghan really resonates with me. If you don't know Meghan, and because a lot of the things out there written about her aren't true,
things can be printed that just aren't true,
and you genuinely and honestly want to get a sense of her, you should watch this podcast interview.
And the thing as well is that the royal family and the UK who are still against her, they realize that their narrative, what they wanted, it's not really resonating with people. People are not buying their BS. So they're going all out. We see, especially on TikTok and many other platforms, there are some people who are still doing the pushback. So they're really upset about that. And I think Meghan recognized that. And not only she's capitalized on it, and she's like, I'm blacking these haters out. Let me focus on some of the things that I enjoy doing, because there are people out there who, let's just say, she knows her niche, okay? She knows who's following her, and she knows things that she wears usually sold out and things like that. So she's focusing on that. And the others, they're hating that. And more people, the more nonsense that they're writing about her, the more they're getting people's eyes to be open. Because the nonsense, it's so ridiculous. People have to stop and think, wait a second. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 with your logic of the nonsense you're writing here. All right, so let's continue.
Love that she's always addressing the crew, because she understands that it takes an entire team to make this work. It would have been impossible to film with Love Meghan in her house, especially with a crew of 80 people, and not to mention the fact you don't want to work and live in the same place. I love how Meghan's eyes sparkle when she talks about age. I love that she doesn't read the media and the press. She has very firm boundaries, and I applaud that. There were a lot...
Harry been telling the UK media about his boundary as well. He's been telling them they refuse to respect his boundaries. And then he brings someone who's fighting along with him. A
lot of really poignant and powerful moments in the interview, but there is one thing that is really great life advice, and it's the power of the word yet. And if you're an entrepreneur, an athlete, pretty much anyone, and you attach the word yet to a sentence like, my business isn't making traction yet, I haven't won the match yet, I don't know how to solve this problem yet. You see where I'm going and how powerful yet can be?
Put yet at the end of nearly every sentence and you feel like there's still hope and a promise that you can do it. Yes. But when I type that to my children before I go to bed, guess what? Like, I'm teaching that to them, or I'm reinforcing that, but I'm also reinforcing it for myself. Yes. Like, I don't know yet. I'm not sure.
I'm just gonna say that applies to every adult. That applies to me right now, all of us.
Yeah. Like,
yet.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
My business hasn't gotten traction yet. No one's picked up my book proposal yet.
Yes.
I haven't found my soulmate yet. Everything is yet.
The power of yet.
The power of yet. I get so many questions about self-worth, like, when am I going to finally feel worthy? And it's like, yet. Yet.
If you haven't seen the podcast interview...
Yeah, it's very touching, especially her, Jamie Kern-Lima, her road to be where she's at now. Her explaining it is very heartwarming, and you know, she worked for where she's at right now. It wasn't handed to her on a silver platter. She worked for it along with her husband. I spoke about it in one of my videos, the part that I just can't believe that the husband, both of them quit their job to focus on the same thing. It was very risky. All right, so yeah, asking for their own boundary, respect their boundaries. All right, let's continue.
Yet, you should. It was very genuine, very relaxed, and it made you feel like you were just hanging out. I am continuously impressed with who Meghan surrounds herself with. There was a quote I read somewhere, and I'd like to share with you. Hang around 5 smokers, you will be the 6th. Hang around 5 fit people, you will be the 6th. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Choose your circle of influence wisely.
Wow.
And Meghan has done that. She has surrounded herself with beautiful, inspiring people.
That is true.
It's something we should all aspire to do. Surround ourselves with very positive and inspiring people.
That is true. If I was on TikTok, this is another person I will follow. Thank you for this pushback and all the biased racism on Meghan Sussex. All right, let's see. I think that's it. With this, let's go back. Okay, so let's read some of the comments here. I went over to Mom's yesterday and gave her a big hug and a casserole. I thankfully, let's pause, this is a bit distracting. Okay, I thankfully still have her in my life as an adult, but wow, if she would have done something like this for my sis and I, my eyes are leaking now. Their kids are so blessed. Okay, I'm not on the clock. Okay, I'm not on the clock app. So seeing this here from this person here, okay, President Kamala Harris, okay, that guy, warned me and tears me up. I don't understand how those weirdos don't understand one of the biggest influence in her mothering is her husband, who, despite having reams of paper, Mom may not have a lot of. Okay. People keep journals of their day-to-day activities. Some have them in films narrating the journey of their family to certain milestone calendars. I wish my mom did it. It just shows Meghan's intentionality, hands-on, a mother who wants to capture these precious moments. Okay, this is just another form of journaling and scrapbooking. It's a beautiful and been around for a long time. Just now, digitally, I love this for her and her family, and now many other families will do this for their kids. Okay, to twist this into something negative is so twisted and sick, like they're really that miserable. We did create an email for my kids, both of my kids, but now they have it, because now when we need to send them something, information about school or whatever, we send it to them. They already have it. My husband did that, so I don't want to take credit for that. Okay, my husband did the email for them. All right, next tweet. Pastor Meghan Sussex just ministered. My fave said, what could be seen at a breakdown can be your breakdown. Come on, church. Let me get my praise on before I continue to listen. Sis, you didn't have to eat the word like that. My gracious. Confessions of a Female Founder. So I listened to all of the podcasts so far. I think the day before, I listened to the one that was aired when I was on vacation and the recent one. So what is that now? So she's doing the church kind of thing. I'll be putting screenshots, so there's no reason for me to play that. There's the laugh here. This is how I felt too. Preach. Yes, that's an ad. People are laughing. Get your praise on, girl. Let me join you. All right, so that's that. So this is a bit about politics. I have two other ones that has to do a little bit with politics. This has to do with President Obama. Great story. Okay, it's been so long since we had a leader who spoke like this. Stick around with me and literally for a couple minutes. It's worth it, I promise. So it's 3 minutes, 8 seconds. It will be screenshot. Let's listen.
When I ran for the presidency in 2008, I'd fly down to South Carolina. Alarm goes off, and I feel terrible. I am exhausted. Think I'm coming down with a cold. I open up the curtains. It's pouring down rain outside. Pouring down rain. Horrible day. I get the newspaper outside my door, and there's a bad story about me in the New York Times. I get dressed, shave, walk out. My umbrella blows open. That ever happened to you? And I get soaked. I'm just soaked. I get in the car. I said, all right, how long is it going to take to Greenwood? An hour and a half. Finally, I get out, and I walk in, and there are like 15, 20 people there. And I will tell you, they didn't look any happier to see me than I did to see them. And so I go around the room, and I say, how do you do? What do you do? But they're not really feeling it right now. And suddenly, I hear this voice from the back just shout, fired up.
Oh, I remember that
everybody
story.
in the room says, fired up. And then I hear the voice say, ready to go. And everybody in the room says, ready to go. And I don't know what's going on. I think these people are crazy. Maybe I shouldn't have come here. And then I look in the back of the room.
That old lady he's making reference to, I think when he became president, he did meet her again. Yeah, I know about this story, but let's continue.
And there's this middle-aged woman. She's got a big church hat. And she got, I think, a gold tooth. Turns out, she holds a position in the local NAACP office. And also, I'm not kidding you, is a private detective. This is a true story. She's like a private eye. Although it's hard to think that you wouldn't see her coming. She's very colorful. And she is known wherever she goes by saying this chant, fired up, ready to go. And every meeting she goes to, she does this thing. But the interesting thing is, after a while, I'm starting to get kind of fired up. I'm starting to feel like I'm ready to go. And all those negative thoughts and all those bad memories start kind of drifting away. And it just goes to show you how one voice can change a room. And if it can change a room, it can change a city. And if it can change a city, it can change a state. And if it can change a state, it can change a nation. And if it can change a nation, it can change the world. So I just have one question for you. Are you fired up? Ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go?
So There's a music in the back. I'm gonna have to mute that anyway. Alright, so that's that. Okay, mid edit. That's the story here, fired up, ready to go. It's on YouTube, so go watch it. Dude was a person you wanted to be friend with. I revisit the video of Obama eating with Anthony Bourdain at a small restaurant in Vietnam. He was just so likable. Yeah. Even the dog Mrs. Obama. There's that. Canada with the heart. We cannot imagine how this happened to the good people of the USA. As I was listening to that and see her crying and things like that, I was thinking our current state of the country. I was like, we have to go through that. I mean, it may sound so harsh coming out of my mouth to spread this, because the things we are experiencing is not pleasant. But the lingering of the negativity under the surface was too much, because when he was president, they were pulling him down and prevent him from moving forward. But now that it's over the surface, some of the people who had doubts about the negativity that was going under the surface, now they could see it. Okay, so the country had to go through it. We will get through it. We have a small window of opportunity. This is something I will say for my members. My members, go. I have a video that I put for you guys. Go check it out, and you should be able to see this tweet as well. And there. Okay, dude was a person you wanted to be friend with. I revisit the video of Obama eating with Anthony Bourdain at a small restaurant in Vietnam. He was just so likable. Okay, or even the dog Mrs. Obama. That's Canada here. We cannot imagine how this happened to the good people of the USA. Like I said, we have to go through it, as sad as it is. And then there's one tweet I responded to when I think Canada just had an election and they did not go to the Trumpies, MAGAs type of people. And I said to them, and that, let me see if I could find that response. You know what, before I go, let me finish with that and then I could search for it. Okay, we were so lucky to be alive and aware that we had something amazing. We had one of the most human, not just in our White House, but in our presence on earth with us. He still speaks wisdom and love. I had thought he had shown us what is possible, what to expect from now on. I feel on that. Amazing what happened. Okay, so I'm done with this. Now I'm gonna search for that particular video. Just when I was about to give up and I found it. So this is my response to this tweet here. Tell me what now? We are better than friends. Okay, there's a laugh here. And you can thank us, the women from Quebec, for saving the country from fascism. Alright, so this is one of the Squaddies who's Canadian who posted that. Can't believe Quebec saved us. You know what, I'm not even gonna slander TMU friends this summer. Alright, so I don't know what these colors represent. You know, similar to, let's say, in the US, blue sort of represent Democrats and red represent Republican. So I'm not sure what some of these colors represent in Canada. Okay, so this is Canada election in terms of the way the election went. So this is my response to Canada here. Okay, I'm praying this is not the 2020 of USA, where the next Canadian election doesn't become 2024 of USA. What I mean by that? In 2020, Biden won. Okay, save us from having the Trump kind of thing. And the 2020 is like what Canada just experienced here. Okay, they all safe, but there were a good amount of Canadians who were willing to go to the fascist side kind of things. That's what I mean by that. And now the next election, I don't know, do they do it every 4 years or every 5 years? Whichever, the next main election, where what happened to the US now in 2024, where Trump get back in, and then Canada will be that. Okay? So this was like some kind of a warning. Learn from USA mistakes. Don't think they'll give up. They went back to their drawing board to learn from what just had happened, and they'll adjust accordingly. They'll be back. Just saying. Okay? So whatever is happening in Canada right now, or if they were saved by a certain group of people, meanwhile the rest of the country were willing, the rest of the country was willing to go to the fascist side. So this is a warning for Canada. They're not that far off from the US. Okay? That's all I'm saying about this. All right, so that's that. I just wanted to share this with you. Now that I'm talking about a little bit of politics, there's a lot of things I don't share. All right, next week I have one more after this. This is a bit more of a happy side. I don't think I'll go in the comments. All right, so this guy I follow on Twitter, and I believe he has a YouTube channel. He's the one who said, dear white women, what the F is your problem? What da 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 da. All right, so that's him, who's with former Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, VP Kamala Harris is the uncontested champion with the fan. All right, 4 seconds only. All right, so that's that. Okay, that's right. I love this for us. We're all concentrating on getting these steps together, popping those fans, elevating and educating one another together. Everything happens for a reason. We can do this, people. Stay woke. All right, there's more comment. Let's leave that alone. There's another video. It's like a continuation of this. And then I'll be done. All right. If there's a music, I'll mute it. All right. This one is slightly longer, 19 seconds. Okay, this is Pop Bass who posted that. Kamala Harris learns the boots of the ground dance ahead of her speech in San Francisco. 19 seconds. Alright, this is what we could have had. Let me read some of the comment here. Kamala 2028, I don't care, I don't care. I'm blacking if you disagree. Alright, that's an ad. So I don't want to go too much into the comment. That's that. Okay, so let's do a prayer. Let's say safety and brighter future. Alright, let's pick this, a small one. Lord, we pray for peace in our communities. Help us to work together to create safe and loving environments where everyone can thrive. Amen. Okay, so that's that. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And my members, there's a small portion of this video I will be removing and put it just for you guys, because my thinking is out of this world. It's something I just want to share with my members, but not the rest of the YouTube world. All right, thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
So we ask for forgiveness, and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.